All right. Good day, everybody. Today is Tuesday, March 15th, 2022. Welcome to Headline Hits with LW. Just a lot of talk about today, a lot of stuff going on. People putting stuff out there. The stock market's going to crash today. Debt forgiveness all day long, I guess. We'll see. We'll see if that actually manifests. It's been said many, many times. I have yet to see proof of any of it. All right. So let's head to some headline hits here. Analysis is going on where Republican led states head of Democrat led states in the economic recovery in the month of January. States that have Republican governors and legislatures have overwhelmingly succeeded in leading their states to economic recovery before the majority of those governed by Democrats, according to this analysis in January, state by state unemployment data and the Department of Labor. So the Republican National Committee, the RNC research team's analysis of the Labor Department and December data revealed that Republican-led states continue month after month to outperform the Democrat-led states in job recovery. 15 of the top 20 states and lowest unemployment numbers, 17 out of 20 states in January. It goes on and gives more specifics about that, and you can read about it if you'd like. It's in Breitbart. I just found it encouraging because we talk about it all the time. Conservatism works, and the other side doesn't. It never has. Social programs don't work. It's just here we are. The proof's in the pudding, and we're proving it day after day. We're proving that people are flooding to the red states to get away from tyranny, to get away from restrictions and mandates. And the red states are back to work. A lot of them have been back to work for a long time, but yet New York, California, and some of the other ones want to suppress you and even throw more restrictions on you and just more of the same. Hey, don't worry about it, folks. The government will take care of you. All right. The next headline: UK energy bill to rise 14 times faster than the wages amidst the green push, sanctions, and war. So what are they talking about here? I read this article, and what I want to bring to your attention is if this is happening in the UK, when is it going to happen to us here in America? Which I think hyperinflation's already started. So here's just one other country in the world that's suffering from this as well. British energy bills look to set to increase some 14 times faster than the British wages in 2022. Yeah, the electric bills are set to increase by 54% when the price cap set by the OFTA is increased in April. The umbrella organization said at the weekend, referring to Britain's Office of Gas and Electricity Market Regulator. So it goes on to say how it's jumped up. The wages have jumped up $3.75. Well, that 3.75% in 2022, but it's going to be engulfed by the inflation. So even though these guys are getting a pay raise, it ain't going to matter. The energy costs are going to completely surpass any raise that the UK has given to their people, which means people are going to be in some major trouble in the UK. And I believe it's already here in the United States. You better prepare for it. That's all I can tell you. Okay, next headline hit here. Turkey says it will not impose sanctions on Russia over the Ukraine. Now, I'm just going to touch on this for a quick minute, quick second, actually, because the Turkish foreign minister told reporters on Sunday that we will not join the sanctions some Western countries have imposed on Russia. Why is that? It's over the latest war with Ukraine and Russia. State-run TASS news agency reported. They said that we believe that the sanctions will not solve the problem. Okay. Are they going to just stay out of it completely and not put any sanctions on Russia? Or could they possibly assist Russia in some form or fashion? I don't know. From what I'm seeing right now, folks, it's very possible that a lot of countries of the world are going to start getting pulled into this war, conflict, whatever you want to call it. I think Turkey is on the radar now, just like Israel is, and it's just a matter of time. So let's hit the next headline here, and let's talk about China. China's in the news a lot. So China's latest COVID lockdown could determine the Fed's interest rate target. So China COVID lockdown, Xi'an, the southern financial and manufacturing hub of the neighbors Hong Kong, came as a shock. So this is talking about how the new variant is now coming out. We talked about it on Podbean this morning. And now China is, and if you remember right before the Olympics, China went in and outside of Beijing, they locked down a lot of their citizens in neighboring cities. Some over 2 million people were in lockdown, and they wouldn't even allow them to leave the house except for the absolute necessities if they needed to go to the grocery store for something. So now they're locking down more of China. And remember, a big majority of the world uses China for manufacturing. So there's a lot of supplies that come out of China. And if China is locking down certain sections of their country and not allowing people to go to work, what does that mean for the supply chain? I mean, I know that unfortunately I have purchased things made in China. I'm trying really hard not to do that anymore. That's why I created lwnfliptheswitch.com, as I'm trying to get away from Chinese made items, and I'm trying to buy only American made. And so that's why I created that, so that I could show other people the things that you can do to get away from buying from China. The company that I'm part of manufactures 97% of their items right here in America. So this is just another warning here, folks, coming out of China. Let's talk about the next headline hit here. And the Democrat Senator Murphy, these guys are delusional. Biden's quote strong hand has caused China to quote step back. So Senator Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut, said on Monday on MSNBC's All In that President Joe Biden has been playing such a quote strong hand end quote during the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It has caused China to quote step back. Haynes said, quote, how do you see the development today, Jake Sullivan? 7-hour meeting, the U.S. being quite vocal about its concerns about China and China aligning with Russia. How do you assess this? Murphy came back and said, quote, I think a lot of people scratched their heads a bit in the early days of this conflict. In the weeks leading up to it, asking why President Joe Biden was not acting unilaterally without Europe. The reason for that is, first, he just believed that it would be the strongest response to Russia, these economic sanctions together. But because President Biden has been around long enough to know that these Chinese don't listen to you if you are speaking only for your own country, but they listen to multilateral consequences. Really? Joe Biden and his son Hunter don't have ties to China? Read the book Red Handed. It lays it all out there for you. So this donkey here, this jackass, seems to think and is promoting that Biden has this all wrapped up, folks. He's in control. He's got a strong hand that is telling China, back up, back off. And he seems to think that it's working. But I don't see anywhere where this is working. Not one thing. And we're going to get to it in one of the next headlines. All right, let's talk about not a joke. And I can't even make this stuff up. Joe Biden blames Vladimir Putin for inflation that spiked in 2021. President Joe Biden again tried to blame Russian President Vladimir Putin for inflation on Monday, calling him a major factor in the raising prices. Quote, now the second big reason for inflation is Vladimir Putin and gas prices, end quote, Biden claimed. quote, not a joke. I can't make this stuff up. The president spoke about rising inflation during his speech at Washington, D.C. to the National League of Cities Congressional City Conference. So this is where the mayors of every city across the United States goes to this convention and listens to, I guess, idiots. Because if I was the mayor of a town, I don't think I'd be listening to anything coming out of this administration's mouth. Biden falsely blamed Putin for the $5 raise in gas prices, urging the Russian president, uh, arguing that the Russian president began surging troops at the Ukraine border at the beginning of the year, which fueled higher prices. Now, it couldn't be anything to do with day one signing an executive order to cancel the Keystone Pipeline, week one, canceling permits for fracking and drilling. Couldn't have anything to do with that. It absolutely 100% has everything to do with Putin, and it's Putin's fault, folks. Just letting you know. Make no mistake, the current spike in gas prices is largely the fault of Vladimir Putin, end quote from Joe Biden. So he also takes credit for the $1.9 trillion of the American Rescue Plan that they voted for, passed, and put into action. Again, folks, 1.9 trillion. They're voting on another 1.5 trillion, just trillion after trillion after trillion. We just keep printing money. We just keep printing it. I'm telling you right now, man, we cannot sustain what is happening in our country. If you are not prepared for what's going to happen, God bless you, because you're being warned right now. You've been warned several times, not just from me, from other channels. So pay attention. Here's another headline. Pentagon pushes back on no-fly zone over Ukraine. What's that all about? Well, the Pentagon on Monday pushed back against the idea of enforcing a no-fly zone over the Ukraine, as some lawmakers call for the United States to intervene in this country's war against Russia. I'm telling you guys right now, we have talked about it on Podbean this morning with John Estabrooks. Remember 9/11. Remember how the Bush administration and how our government designed and created a way for them to have a war and to draw all United States citizens into that war to back it and support it. I'm warning you right now, this administration will come up with a reason why we need to enter into this war, and they're going to create something that will unite the American people behind them and say, yes, we should go in there. Yes, we should be part of this war. I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you a heads up on it. The U.S. Senator defense official during a background briefing on Ukraine told reporters that the no-fly zone over Ukraine would not have prevented the Russians from bombing the military training center in western Ukraine, since the attacks came from inside Russia airspace. It goes further to say that the Defense Department, the Pentagon, doesn't want to intervene. They don't think it's necessary, but other senators and other people are really pushing for the issue, including Congressman Lindsey Graham, which says that if Ukraine, or if Russia uses chemical warfare on Ukraine, that's going to change the whole situation. U.S. officials have expressed concern in certain days that Russia will be promoting disinformation about biolabs in Ukraine so that they can stage a chemical weapons attack and blame it on the Ukraine. Now, that's coming from Lindsey Graham and his co-hosts there, that they're saying that if Russia uses chemical weapons in Ukraine, that they're wanting the United States to step in some form or fashion. Now, remember, any NATO country that gets attacked by Russia, it's going to cause concern and may pull some people into this fight that don't want to be in the fight. So let's talk about the last two headlines. Let's talk about U.S. warns China not to assist Russia in invading the Ukraine. More big talk, more tough talk from Big Joe here. Russia and China on Monday denied allegations by U.S. officials that Russia has asked China to provide military equipment to assist in the invasion of Ukraine. The Biden administration issued public warning to Beijing on Monday that it must not do anything to assist Russia war effort to help Moscow invade international sanctions. The accusation that Russia asked China for help with the Ukraine attack came from unnamed U.S. officials who spoke to the Washington Post on Sunday. The officials did not say what kind of weaponry would be required or requested, or whether they know how China has responded yet, end quote. Similar reports were published on Sunday by Financial Times and the New York Times and Politico, probably quoting the same anonymous U.S. official. Who is this official? This report said that Russia had been asking China for military equipment and other assistance since the start of the invasion. Other person familiar with the situation as the U.S. was preparing to warn its allies amid some of the indications that China may be preparing to help Russia. Other U.S. officials have said that there are signs that Russia was running out of some kinds of their weaponry, and as war in Ukraine extends into its third weeks. And that comes from the Financial Times. It goes further to state that maybe China has definitely been buying weapons from Russia over the years, and maybe they might return some of the weapons to Russia that they purchased, maybe adding to more of their arsenal. I'm not sure. It's definitely concerning that there's talks between Russia and China. My feeling is that China is going to take this as an opportunity. They have already sent more fighter jets into the airspace of Taiwan in the last couple of days. I feel like there's going to be a move from China into Taiwan, and who knows, China may assist Russia in Ukraine. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the survey that was done. Let's talk about how Americans are feeling about what's going on with Russia and Ukraine right now. So this headline hit is 3/4 of Americans worried Russia will use nuclear weapons in the Ukraine. 3/4 is 75%. 3/4 of Americans worried Russia will use nuclear weapons in Ukraine, as a Ramson report survey released on Monday found. And here's some of the numbers. The survey asked respondents to reveal how concerned they are by the prospect of Russia using nuclear weapons in the invasion of Ukraine. Overall, 77% were concerned, and of those, 41% were very concerned. Just 21% expressed little concern, but only 5% said they were not concerned at all. A majority of Democrats, 81%, Republicans, 75%, and Independents, 73%, shared that concern as well. As we go into these dark days, folks, we have no idea. Remember what they said, a nuclear winter. Winter's not over yet. Could there be a nuclear attack? Well, I don't know. I'm not Putin. I'm not a military analyst, but I can tell you it is looming, and there are a lot of people looking at it and a lot of people concerned about where this is all going to take us. There is talk that Israel is getting ready to supply Europe, possibly with natural gas. They're setting on a very big natural gas reserve. And with Russia turning off the pipeline to Europe, it may be an opportunity for Israel to step up. But if they do that, does that put a target on their back? There's been some missiles shot off by accident, supposedly. Other countries getting involved in certain situations, like India right now. Where does that leave Korea? I don't know. Just a lot of things starting to fester, in my opinion, really starting to build up. I feel the buildup. So make sure that you guys are prayed up, prepped up, prepared. Just a lot of things happening in our world today. Put your faith in Jesus Christ. that he has this, and that's the only person that can save us at this point. So thanks for joining me today for Headline Hits. You guys have a wonderful day, and we will be back this evening at 8 Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. See y'all later.